Suddenly, my beloved wife Harper divorced me.
I feel suffocated when I'm with you, Liam.
Harper looked me in the eyes and stated so coldly, and I was astonished, unable to understand. Harper had been acting normally up until the day before. As usual, she smiled at me. There was no way I could have imagined this. Since when? When did she start thinking about it? I couldn't think clearly. Harper put her wedding ring on the table with a sad look on her face and laughed. I couldn't believe it. She had to have planned this for a long time. Harper had been meticulous in her planning. She'd found a place to live and a job, and she just needed a little luggage to leave. Was the smile she gave me yesterday all about the excitement of beginning a new life? I've loved Harper for a long, long time, ever since high school. We were in the same 7th grade class, and even though we weren't close, I fell in love with her. I still remember that decisive moment. I was playing clarinet in the brass band at the time. But things were not going well, and I was wondering whether I should quit or not. And I happened to have an opportunity to talk about it with Harper, and she said to me firmly,
I saw on TV that people who are aware of their flaws mature. So, I think you'll be fine. I promise.
At that moment, all the bad feelings were gone, and Harper really looked like a goddess to me. I had never seen such a beautiful person. I then began approaching her, which is how we married.
I am truly happy when I am with you, Liam.
Harper used to say that before and after we married. And yet, she said she felt like she was suffocating. I didn't get the meaning of that. I threw Harper's wedding ring against the wall. I was frustrated. Then, I had to become a workaholic. It was because if I didn't, I would remember Harper. I'd work till the last train, fall asleep when I came home, go back to work, and on my days off, I'd either sleep or bring my work home to finish it. I hid Harper's photos and other items with special meanings in the back of the closet. I created a life for myself without Harper and proceeded to live on my own. Nonetheless, there were occasions when I wished to hear her voice and considered calling her. But I had no choice but to give up as long as Harper didn't want me to. I had no choice but to do it because I still loved her. Just then, I saw her. It was my day off, and I went to a shopping center by train for the first time in a long time. There, Harper was walking with a man I didn't know. At that moment, I felt a surge of anger I had never felt before. My body was shaking with anger. Unable to control my emotions, I rushed towards Harper. "Harper!" Harper looked pale when she saw my face.
"Why are you here?"
She only said that. The man was about the same age as Harper, or maybe a little younger. I stared at him. "Harper, so now you have a new date. It's only been 3 months since our divorce. When did this happen? Or were you seeing him all the time? Is that why you got tired of me?" Harper didn't answer anything. The man looked at Harper with concern, and that annoyed me too. "Tell me, were you that kind of person? We've been together for so long, and you care more about this guy than me? Uncool or not, I couldn't suppress my feelings. Harper was in tears. I think you can tell him about it now. The man spoke to Harper. Then Harper nodded and said,
Liam, I'm sorry, but I have Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's disease? What is that supposed to mean? As I was puzzled, the man suggested we go to a coffee shop, so we changed places. Once we entered the coffee shop, the man offered me his business card. My name is Levy. Actually, I run a flower shop. I received a referral from the hospital, and Harper is working at my shop only while she can. What do you mean by while she can? As she mentioned earlier, Harper is suffering from juvenile Alzheimer's disease. She is receiving treatment to prevent the disease from progressing as far as possible, but she will eventually lose the ability to do anything. That's why I've hired her to work for me for that period. My wife has the same disease, so I think I understand the situation. Alzheimer's disease. I didn't understand what was going on. Come to think of it, sometimes she had left several bottles of mayonnaise in the fridge and was looking for something more often. She even went in a different direction on her way home from the usual supermarket. Harper, but why? Harper was crying hard all the time.
Liam, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to know. At first, I thought I might get better. But then, I couldn't take it anymore. I'm sure I'll start acting crazy from now on. I won't be able to put on makeup or use the restroom by myself. I didn't want to bother you or let you see me becoming like that. I was also scared that I wouldn't be able to recognize you. I enjoyed being with you. Every day I was delighted, and I was afraid of losing those memories. And I didn't want to add more happy memories.
What are you talking about? I tousled Harper's hair. Harper, let's get married. I was certain that I would continue to love Harper, no matter what. Besides, I couldn't let Harper be alone in this state. Even if she had someone like Levy by her side who understood her. But Harper's answer was different.
I'm sorry, Liam. I've already made up my mind.
Harper had always been strong-willed. She did not give up when she took the university entrance exam and succeeded despite being told it was impossible. When it came to choosing furniture for a new home, she didn't budge an inch. She was the type of person who never gave up once she set her mind to anything. That was one of the qualities I admired in Harper. Okay, I agreed, but I didn't give up. I was also strong-willed. Or perhaps you could say that I was a bad quitter. I went to the flower shop where Harper worked every day. Of course, I had no interest in flowers, but I went there anyway. I pretended I needed to buy flowers as a thank you gift for a junior coworker. I pretended to want to adorn my house's entryway or told her I wanted the flowers she recommended. Each time, Harper smiled at me with a happy and sad look on her face. It reminded me of myself in high school. I recall asking her out on several dates in the same way. Harper, don't you want to go out? What are you doing on Sunday?
Let's walk home together."
Harper's expression was the same as it had been. Harper gradually lost her ability to accomplish more and more things. She became unable to operate the cash register and naturally forgot the faces of customers. She started forgetting while receiving orders, or she forgot to put water in the tub with the flowers in it. She still remembered me, but I knew she would soon forget me too. So I proposed to her several times, but the answer was always no.
"Women don't like a persistent man."
When I told a young woman who worked in the same office about my ex-wife, she said,
"Don't you sound like a stalker? You should try taking a step back and seeing her reaction."
It was something called love games. I stopped going to the store because I thought she had a point. Instead, I decided to pretend to be a customer and write a letter to Harper. Levy informed me that Harper had been down since a customer became enraged with her. I wrote to Harper every day with short, easy-to-understand sentences, such as, "Thank you for the flowers," and "Your smile cheers me up," and stuff like that. I made a variety of cards so she wouldn't notice that they were all written by the same person. I also drew pictures, pasted stickers, and added other creative touches. I hoped Harper would smile every day. That was all I had hoped for. I felt like an idiot at times, but it was astonishing how much strength I gained when I thought it was for Harper's sake. About a month later, I went to the flower shop for the first time in a while. I was anxious to see if she remembered me. Levy had told me that her condition had deteriorated slightly, so it was understandable that she had forgotten about me.
"Hello?"
I heard Harper's voice as I entered the store. I looked at Harper's face with nervousness.
"Oh!"
Harper looked at me and said,
"Thank you for the letters."
Excuse me?"
"It's you, right? You are the one who sends me cards."
"Why do you think so?"
"It's because I recognize your handwriting."
"Really? But every time I try to modify my handwriting..." Harper laughed happily. I was happy. I was truly happy, and realized that I was truly in love with her. "Harper, let's get married." Harper shook her head. Again and again, she was crying. A few years later, Harper could no longer continue working. She could no longer go to the restroom by herself. Harper had planned everything for when it happened. There was no reason for me to be there. The facility where Harper went to live was a little far away, so I couldn't go there every day. But I made sure to go there on my days off. When I went to the facility, Harper looked at me with a happy and sad face. We went to the nearby supermarket together, ate the facility's food together, and watered the flowers in the flower beds. Harper no longer addressed me by my name. Nonetheless, she recognized me. That's how it was between us. She no longer wore makeup. Her hair was tied by her staff at the facility. I remembered Harper braiding her hair, so I practiced at home. One day, I braided Harper's hair.
"How are you going to tie my hair?"
Harper said with a curious look on her face. I'm going to do it very nicely."
"I see. I appreciate it."
Harper smiled happily. Despite my efforts, I was unable to effectively braid her hair. Her hair was in buns and sticking out in a few places, and it was far from adorable. I sighed. I was frustrated because my practice bore no fruit. Then Harper said,
"I heard that people who are aware of their flaws mature."
"What did you just say?" That was the same thing Harper once said to me.
"So, you'll be fine. I promise."
Harper turned to face me and grinned. It was as if Harper from high school was present. After all, she was a goddess, I thought. I never seen such a lovely woman before. Harper made me fall in love over and over again. I hadn't proposed to her since the last time. I never said I love her or anything along those lines. But I fell in love once again and asked her, "Will you marry me?" Harper looked both happy and sad.
"Yes, I'm sure I will be happy if I marry you."
I hugged Harper. Harper was no longer stubborn, and I was certain that I would love Harper for the rest of my life. Although I was unable to re-register the marriage with Harper, I was able to replace the wedding ring on her left finger.